Assalamu alaikum viewers, I am back with another video about the topic of water resources of Pakistan. But first of all, subscribe my channel, like my videos and share them with your family and friends. Now, first of all, we have to see what is a natural resource. So natural resources are elements of the environment like minerals and energy resources that are utilized by humans for economic and societal needs. Following are the two types of natural resources, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources are the sustainable sources of energy or materials that can be naturally replenished over time. For example, sunlight, wind, biomass. It has further types, continuous and sustainable resources. Now, if we talk about the continuous resources, these resources can be used continuously in abundance because they are unlikely to be exhausted from the earth, like sunlight or wind. Whereas sustainable resources are the resources that might decrease with the time passes. For example, fish, vegetation, wildlife. And if they are not used in such a way that they would remain available for the future generations, it would be harmful for the environment. And non-renewable resources are those resources which will finish when we'll use them. For example, oil, natural gas, etc. So now, if we talk about hydrological cycle, you have been reading about the hydrological cycle since childhood. But let me explain it in a quick manner that the hydrological cycle, which is also known as water cycle, is an ongoing natural phenomenon. It encompasses the evaporation of water from the earth's surface. The process includes the transportation of water through the atmosphere. Eventually, water returns to the surface through precipitation. This cycle is vital for redistributing water globally, and it plays a crucial role in maintaining Earth's water balance. The hydrological cycle is essential for supporting life on the planet. And in picture, you can clearly see that how the hydrological cycle actually works. Now, if we talk about the importance of rivers to Pakistan, then we can see that it attracts tourism due to the scenic beauties. It provides water to the rain-fed areas. It is used in various industries. Alluvium increased the fertility of the soil. Important for the inland fishing industry. It helps to generate hydroelectricity. It is used for domestic purposes and it is also used for irrigation purposes. Then if we talk about the river systems of Pakistan, we have a very good river system. We have basically two river systems. One is Indus water system and the other is rivers of Balochistan. Now, if we talk, firstly, we'll talk about the Indus water system. It has two tributaries, two parts. One are the eastern tributaries and the other is western tributaries. So, first of all, I'll tell you about the Indus water system, that it is the largest river system of Pakistan on the largest river Indus. It is watered by glaciers of the Karakoram and Hindu Kush, enters the plains of Punjab and Sindh. It irrigates about 60% of Pakistan's cultivable land. The Bela Dam is constructed on River Indus. Now, if we talk about the eastern tributaries of River Indus, they are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi and Satluj River. And if we talk about the western tributaries of River Indus, they are Kabul, Kurram, Swat, Tochi and Gomal. Though we can see that the western tributaries are more than eastern tributaries, but River Indus get more water from the eastern tributaries because these are big rivers, huge rivers, and it gets less water from the western tributaries because they are mostly small water bodies. The second one we have is the rivers of Balochistan. River Zob, Kandhar, Tochi drain into the River Indus. River Lorelai, Chakar, Bolan and Mula are absorbed into the Kichi Sibi plain. Then the main rivers are Dasht, Hingol, Hub, Zob, Nihing and Kech. So these are the rivers which are mostly small rivers or seasonal rivers, and they makes up the rivers of Balochistan. Then we have uses of water. We all know these uses, but I will quickly tell you about them. We can divide the uses of water into three domains: domestic uses, industrial uses, and agricultural uses. So in domestic uses, we use water for drinking, cooking, washing, and sanitation. For industrial purposes, we use water for pharmaceutical industry, tanning, food processing, textile industry, chemical, mineral water, iron and steel industry, thermal power, and hydroelectricity. Then if we talk about the agricultural uses, we use obviously water for the irrigation purposes. Then if we talk about the groundwater, it refers to the water beneath the earth's surface. Pakistan faces water scarcity, making irrigation crucial for the crop cultivation. Both ground and surface water are utilized for the irrigation purposes. Tube wells, carriers, and well taps into the groundwater, while canals, diversion, and saleba are used for the surface water. What are these types? We are going to see in the later slides. In the arid regions like Balochistan Plateau and deserts, groundwater is vital for irrigation in the absence of sufficient rainfall. Urban areas like Karachi experience water shortages due to population growth, leading to the groundwater extraction for domestic use. Groundwater can be saline or sweet, being non-saline near the recharge sources like rivers and canals. Salinity increases with the distance from recharge sources. In industrial cities such as Karachi, groundwater may become unfit for consumption due to seepage of toxic chemicals, sewage, and seawater. Testing groundwater in laboratories is essential before using it to ensure its safety and quality. Now, irrigation. What does irrigation actually means? It is a deliberate provision of water to the land to promote the plant growth or the crop growth. It holds significant value in arid, semi-arid, and humid regions to enhance the agricultural production. In the country, 75% of the cultivated areas rely on irrigation for optimal crop growth. The evolution of irrigation systems has progressed from traditional lift irrigation to more intricate canal systems. Agriculture in the country is heavily dependent on irrigation for successful cultivation. Now, we have to see that why we need this type of irrigation. Most of the areas in our country experience aridity or semi-arid land, which increases from north to south. Means in the south of the Pakistan, we have more arid areas. So high variability in the distribution of rainfall is experienced. And there is long dry spell from April to June and October to November in Pakistan. There is high variability in the timings of rainfall. Small number of rainy days, which are like 20 in south, maybe 20 to 50 almost in northern areas. So high rate of evapotranspiration, especially in arid and semi-arid, is experienced. And in 1948, when India stopped the water of canals, it was very difficult for us to resume the agricultural processes. Recently, India has constructed the dams on river Indus and river Chenab. So these are the points that why we need proper irrigation system. Then if we talk about the advantages of irrigation, it increases cultivation, it increases the value of the land, also increase the employment, sources of water supply to the different areas, reduce rural urban migration, it increases the underground water as well. If we talk about the disadvantages of irrigation, it is supply based system. Operational and maintenance cost is very high, and it also causes waterlogging and salinity if the canals are not lined. Now, if we talk about the factors that leading to the development of the canal irrigation system in Pakistan, we can see that we have cheap labor and availability of cement reduces the cost of the canal construction. We have automatic natural southward slope of the rivers makes the construction of canals easier because water flows southward naturally. Huge quantities of water from monsoon rainfall and melting of snow can be stored in the reservoirs during the summer season. Irregular supply of water in the rivers is then regulated by construction of dams and barrages. Soft soil and level land of the Indus plain makes digging of canal easier than in the rugged lands of Balochistan. So why do we construct the canals? What is the purpose? To reduce the pressure of the floods. We also use it to avoid the wastage of the water and to provide water for irrigation. And also it takes a prevention method against the short period droughts. So we can use this water anytime. Now, if we talk about the methods of irrigation, there are two methods of irrigation, traditional methods or modern methods. In traditional methods, we have lift irrigation, shaduf, charsa, Persian wheel, carets, induction canals or flood canals, and tank irrigation. In modern methods of irrigation, we have tube wells, perennial canals, link canals, sprinklers or sprays, and tankers. And we are going to see them in detail. First of all, let me tell you something about the lift irrigation. It is among the oldest irrigation methods in Pakistan. In ancient times, water was manually lifted using buckets attached to the ropes from shallow wells and ditches. Due to the labor-intensive nature of this method, only a limited land area could be irrigated using the lift irrigation. And over here, let me tell you one thing, that we are talking about the methods of irrigation, not the methods of getting water for domestic uses. Just we are concerned with the irrigation methods. So the second one is shaduf. The shaduf is a traditional irrigation tool comprising a pole with a suspended bucket on the one end and a weight such as rock on the other end. The pole is supported on a Y-shaped post near a well or a river bank. The bucket is manually dipped into the water and the weight aids it lifting again. So due to its labor-intensive nature, this method is outdated and only a small area, approximately 1/10 of a hectare, can be irrigated with this effort. Now, if we talk about charsa, animal-powered irrigation involves using animals to put a bucket suspended by a rope through a pulley near a well, as you can see in the picture. This innovation allows for the extraction of water from wells at the depths ranging from 5 to 7 meters. With the assistance of animals, a larger area could be irrigated using this method. Now, Persian wheel involves lowering a series of buckets into a well on a chain, ensuring a continuous water supply. Hundreds of empty buckets descended into the well and emerge filled with water in a cyclonical manner. This method allows access to water at depths ranging from 23 to 26 meters and is typically powered by a pair of bullocks or camels. Alongside the charsa, the Persian wheel is one of the dominant and long-lasting lift irrigation methods in Pakistan, utilized for several centuries, and still in some of the villages of Pakistan this method has been used. Now then we have the carets system. The carets is an underground water tunnel that originates at the base of a hill or a mountain, tapping into groundwater, extending to 1 to 2 kilometers and sometimes up to 10 kilometers. The carets serves to irrigate orchards and agricultural fields. Vertical shafts along the length of carets facilitate cleaning, repairs, and water extraction for domestic use. Regular maintenance ensures the carets remains productive for a century or more. Typically owned collectively, the water distribution is based on individual shares held by the group of owners. The site selection is done to by the experienced villagers, and while the digging and maintenance involve a group of trained labor. The main challenge with the carriage is inability to stop water flow, and the maintenance proves to be a challenging and expensive task. Mostly it is found in Balochistan, with specific areas like Zob, Loralai, Quetta, Pashin, Mastoonj valleys. And despite its historical significance, carriage irrigation is gradually diminishing its importance. It is basically an underground irrigation system which can be used and maintained manually. And in this system there are underground canals and tunnels, and it uses the groundwater as well as the rainwater. Vertical shafts are there. You can see in the picture vertical shafts are there for the cleaning purposes, and it irrigates the oasis nearby. And the examples are there in the Mastoonj Valley or Quetta and so on. If we talk about the advantages, the continuous supply is there, but it is less important and lack of government investment. Now, nextly, we have to see the inundation canals or the flood canals. These are the seasonal canals. These are designed to provide water to fields during the summer, and typically operational during the rainy season and closed in winters. And these canals provide advantage for the kharif crops. Rabi crops benefit from the residual moisture left in the land after the summer flooding. And the canals are specifically irrigate active floodplains with the good level of water. And the primary network of these canals is in Sindh and southern Punjab regions. Now, if we talk about the advantages of these canals, it is made to reduce the flood pressure and useful for lower areas like Sindh and southern Punjab. Now, if we talk about the disadvantages of these seasonal canals, they do not supply water throughout the year because they are seasonal, and single crop can be cultivated with these type of canals, and it does not supply water to the upland areas in the northern Indus plains or upper Indus plains. Now, if we talk about the tank irrigation, it is a method of providing water for agriculture by storing it in artificial reservoirs or tanks, which are filled during the rainy season and then used to irrigate crops during dry periods. Now, let's study about the modern methods of irrigation. Number one is tube well. They represent a relatively recent inclusion in Pakistan's irrigation infrastructure. It is capable of accessing water at depths of several hundred meters. These wells are powered by diesel or electric motors. Tube well plays a very crucial role in lowering the water table and safeguarding the land from issues like waterlogging and salinity. Means if the land is waterlogged or salinated, which I am going to explain you later on, then the tube well installation in that area would help to lower down the water level. There are many advantages of the tube well. For example, more efficient, it is faster, larger area can be irrigated, regular supplies there of water, cleaner water supply would be there, reduces water logging and salinity, and less labor is required. But there are some disadvantages of the tube well as well. For example, it is expensive, cannot be used by poor farmers or subsistence farmers. Maintenance is very difficult and expensive, and the fuel, the diesel or petrol is expensive. Spare parts are also expensive. It reduces the groundwater and lower the water table. Then we have perennial canals. These canals bring water to the fields throughout the year and are useful for both crops. These canals have been taken out in Bar upland areas from the dams and barrages. They have some advantages like supply of water around the year. Both crops are benefited, like Kharif and Rabi, both crops provide water to the higher areas. And they have two types. Number one is lined canals. Lined canals are paved with cement or brickwork on the bed and the sides. Number two are the unlined canals. These canals are without any brickwork. Their bottom and sides are of earth and soil, and that is why it is a major cause of waterlogging and salinity. Disadvantages may include that rise water table to the surface level and creates waterlogging and salinity, as just I told you. Then we have link canals. These canals which carry water from one canal to another. It actually, link canal, as its name depicts, it links the different rivers from another river, and it is used to control the irrigation purposes. And if in some river there is less water for the irrigation purposes, so link canals could be used to take water from another river so that the area would be irrigated. For example, if there is less water in Ravi river, so the Kadrabad link canal can take the water from river Chenab and put it into the river Ravi, so that this area of Ravi can get water for the irrigation. So we have different link canals like Rasool Kadrabad, Ballo Ki Sulaiman Ki, like Melsi Bahawal, Tonsa Panchnath canal. So we have many link canals, which is very good for our irrigation system. If we talk about the purpose, so in general the purpose of the link canal is to transfer water from the three western rivers, Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, to two eastern rivers, Ravi and Satluj, to provide water for irrigation canal and perennial canals, to compensate for water lost to India from the eastern rivers. And in Indus Water Treaty, I am going to tell you more about it. Then let's move to sprinklers or sprays. So sprinkler irrigation is a crop irrigation technique employing pipes and pumps and sprinklers to distribute water in droplets and to mimic the natural rainfall. This method is known for its efficiency in water distribution and is widely adopted in agriculture for irrigating extensive areas. Then we have tankers. Tanker irrigation utilizes water tankers or trucks to transport and distribute water for agriculture irrigation. This approach is commonly employed in regions with limited traditional irrigation infrastructure, enabling farmers to deliver water directly to fields through mobile tanker units. But it is not widely used in Pakistan. Now, if we talk about the effectiveness or advantages of the conventional methods of irrigation, we can see that limited areas are irrigated due to less amount of water. Sorry, not advantages, the effectiveness. It requires manual labor or animal power, more time consuming, and difficult to maintain, build and use, like carriage system. If we talk about the advantages of modern irrigation systems, they are efficient and faster. They irrigated large areas, reduce waterlogging and salinity, and can be used anytime. This map shows the irrigated areas of Pakistan, and the areas which are brown in color are the most irrigated areas in Pakistan. Now, if we talk about the Indus Water Treaty, in 1947, the creation of Pakistan led to the division of Punjab province, with parts allocated both to India and Pakistan. And the headworks of Madhupur on Ravi and Firozpur on Satluj being they came in India. And many canals stemming from these points were vital for irrigation of Pakistan. But in March 1948, India halted the flow of water into the Pakistani canals, and Pakistan wanted to address this issue through negotiations. So there was an interim agreement initially, but seeking a permanent solution, discussions were again commenced in 1952 with the assistance of the World Bank. So in September 1960, the Indus Water Treaty was signed, granting Pakistan exclusive rights over the western rivers like Indus, Jhelum and Chenab, and India over the eastern rivers like Ravi, Beas and Satluj. A transitional period extendable up to March 31, 1970 was established, during which India committed to supply water to Pakistan. Simultaneously, Pakistan was expected to construct 2 storage dams, 5 barrages, 1 gated siphon and 8 link canals diverting water from western rivers to the interflows of the eastern rivers. The construction costs were to be covered with aid from United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and India was also responsible for a portion of a cost. The remaining expenses were to be borne by Pakistan with the replacement works entrusted to WAPTA. So, Pakistan has the exclusive rights of river Jhelum, Indus and Chenab, and India got the exclusive rights of river Ravi, Satluj and Beas. Now, if we talk about the importance of Indus Water Treaty, India couldn't resist Pakistan water supply, and exclusive rights of river were given both to Pakistan and rivers and India. It helps in agricultural production. Reservoirs were built in Pakistan, barrages and canals were built in Pakistan. It ensures effective irrigation system, and the construction of cost was paid by Western countries and India. So now, how can water supply be increased in Pakistan? What are the possibilities? So Indus water system irrigates about 60% of the Pakistan's total agricultural land. Other sources are rainfall, melting of glaciers, canal system and groundwater. We have to reduce the water wastage. We have to increase the storage capacity like dams. We should impose the quota system for all the provinces for water, and awareness campaigns, even rigorous awareness campaigns on wastage of water should be delivered. What are the problems? Shortage of water in winters is a problem. Siltation in reservoirs is a very big problem. Lack of financial resources, water pollution, evaporation of water in summers, and limitation of Indus Water Treaty are the challenges for Pakistan. Now, dams. Dam basically is a man-made structure built across a river in order to control the flow of water and use water for irrigation. Following are the types of dam you can see in the picture. First one is the Tarbela Dam, which was made in Pakistan through Indus Water Treaty. And as the part of it was the part of Indus Water Treaty that 2 storage dams had to be made. So they made Tarbela and Mangla Dam. So Tarbela Dam is on river Indus and approximately 47 kilometers from Attock, and it is a multi-purpose project. It is designed to store 11 million acre feet of water and generate 2.1 million kilowatts of electricity, and its primary function is to supply water to Chashma Jhelum Link Canal and different parts of Punjab. The Tarbela Dam also provides water to different link canals, and with a height of 143 meters and a reservoir area of 243 square kilometers, it boasts 9 large gates to control the water outflow. It is recognized as the world's largest earth-filled dam. Tarbela features 2 significant spillways from the reservoir, adding to its impressive attributes. Then, if we talk about the Mangla Dam, which you can see over here in the picture, it was completed in 1969, and it is situated on river Jhelum with a storage capacity of 5.5 million acre feet. It is planned for the future to include potential to raise storage capacity to 9.6 million acre feet. The dam serves as a water source for canals of Punjab, and the long-term goal is to generate 3 million kilowatt of electricity from the Mangla Dam. In addition to being a reservoir, Mangla Lake has been developed as a fishing center and a tourist resort. So it also serves as a recreational area. Then we have Warsak Dam, which is a multi-purpose project strategically designed to supply water for irrigation and generate electricity. It is on Kabul River and approximately 32 kilometers from Peshawar. The installed capacity of Warsak Dam is 240 megawatts. Now then we have Kurramgari Dam. It is located on river Kurram at Kurramgari. The dam provides water to Bannu civil canals and has improved the irrigation of 530 square kilometers of land. Then we have Ghazi Brotha project, which is again on Indus River near Ghazi town. It is a large project with a capacity of 1450 megawatt. It is expected to be completed soon. Then we have small hydel plants. Pakistan hosts several small hydel plants with a combined installed capacity of 107 megawatts. And for example, Renala and Rasool, they are located on upper and lower different canals of Punjab. And then we have small dams. In addition to major irrigation projects, several dams have been constructed in the Western Highlands, and they are providing irrigation facilities and electricity to the valley areas. Then if we talk about main features of hydel plants, the dam wall is constructed to create a water. Basically, a barrage is a structure built across river in order to store water and to use water for irrigation. We have 5 barrages and the gated siphon from the Indus water under the Indus Water Treaty, and then we made some more barrages afterwards. The barrages under the Indus Water Treaty are Chashma Barrage, Rasool Barrage, Marala Barrage, Kadribad, and Melesi siphon as well. Then if we talk about siltation, so siltation basically is the process when there is mineral deposits or soil and sand is covered on the bed of the river, and it creates a lot of flow issue in the river water. The main effect of the siltation is that it reduces the water storage capacity of the river. And if we talk about the methods to control the siltation, we should plant the trees along the hill slopes surrounding the river valley. We should build small dams in the river upstreams from the dam. We should build small dams in the tributary streams joining the main river, so that this silt could not reach the bigger dam reservoirs. Waterlogging is basically the rise of water table to the surface level is called this waterlogging, and the appearance of salty patches is called salinity. You can see in the picture over here that the water is shown on the ground, and that is actually the logged water. Waterlogging is done over here, and then when this water is evaporated, it will leave the deposited the minerals of the water on the ground, and it will form the salty patches on the ground. Now if we talk about the effects of waterlogging, water available all the year, and crops given more water than they use, water table rises to the surface level, and the fertilizers which adds to salt in the water, and the salts left behind from the hard and form a hard crust on the surface, and then the soil and that land becomes infertile and even toxic. Now if we talk about the salinity, it is the evaporation of the waterlogged land and the salt in irrigation water. Salts brought to surface, and mostly it is done because of there is unlined canal nearby, so the water is logged underground, and then it eventually becomes the salinated land. Now what are the measures to overcome the problem of waterlogging and salinity? We should line the canals, we should plant the trees in the affected areas, we should install the tubewells there, we should educate to improve the farming methods to the farmers, and flushing out the salts by water from tubewells and the well surface drains. The tubewell pumps out water at high speed and keep the water level down. If the pumped water is fresh, it could be used for irrigation. For example, in Punjab province, it is used like that. And if pumped water is saline, it would be drained into river or lake. And in Sindh, it is done that which is drained into Manchar Lake. Now, after that, we have to see that what are the government schemes that government of Pakistan have chalked out a reclamation project to solve the problem of salinity and waterlogging, and they named it as a SCARP project, Salinity Control and Reclamation Project. So there were total of 5 SCARP projects. SCARP 1, which actually reclaimed land of Rachna Doab, including Faisalabad and Shekhupura. SCARP 2 covered the area of Chhach Doab, and they made thousands of tubers there and lined the canals. Then SCARP 3 was done in the areas of Jhang, Muzaffargarh, and then SCARP 4 and 5 was done in the areas of Khairpur and Rann of Kutch in Sindh, and the canals were lined and tubers were made. Then if we talk about the surface water pollution, there are many causes of surface water pollution. Releases of different kind of pollutions, disposal of industrial waste and chemicals, use of different fertilizers and pesticides, runoff of excess chemicals in the water, disposal of litter, oil and chemical into the freshwater streams, urban runoff carrying different polluted items, discharge of untreated and poorly treated sewage. There is inadequate sewage infrastructure mostly in Pakistan. Then discharge of different oil, disposal of garbage, then sediment runoff from the construction sites, disposal of construction waste into the freshwater streams. So these all are the causes of the surface water pollution. Now, what are the disadvantages and problems? This contaminated water can cause waterborne diseases, and polluted water may lead to different issues and illnesses like stomach aches and stomach issues. Then it is harmful for aquatic ecosystem, and pollution can contribute to the decline of certain species. Soil quality may degrade. There is economic loss that can be done, could be done because of this. There would be water pollution, could impact the climate change as well. Now, if we talk about the solutions, implement and enforcement of strict regulations should be there, that industrial and municipal waste should not be drained into the freshwater streams. Improve water disposal system to prevent untreated sewage and industrial waste entering from the water bodies. Implement measures to reduce runoff from agricultural areas, and educate people. The most important thing, educate and train people how to use water sustainably and how not to waste the water. Then foster a sense of responsibility and ownership for the local water source should be done. Then if we talk about water as a resource for economic development, we can see that agriculture use is there, that for crops and agro-based industries water is used, and it eventually increases the economic development. Then processing and manufacturing industries, the water is used, cotton industry, leather industry. Then in domestic household water is supplied. So eventually it is used as a resource for economic development as well. Now, if we talk about the minor irrigation systems, then we have Carré system, which I have explained in the earlier slide in much detail. Now, I'm going to move towards the diversion canal, which is practiced mostly in Western Highlands. In the diversion canal, water is taken off from narrow streams through small man-made channels to irrigate small areas, and this can only be done when the river is full. Diversion canals are also called Kurjo in Makran, and this form of irrigation is practiced over a large area from Chitral to Makran. Then we have Saleba. Saleba irrigation is used for the surface runoff of the hill slopes. Whenever a sufficient quantity of rainfall takes place, water flows down the hill slopes and reaches the plains. We all know this. So where the agricultural fields are located, this water is diverted into the fields and nourishes the crops. Of course, a sufficient quantity of rainfall does not take place every year. So this method of irrigation has limited utility. The available water is never enough to irrigate a large area of land. Basically, the water which is coming from the hills to the plain areas and it is diverted to the croplands is called Sareba. Then we have groundwater, which I have already explained earlier. So these are the minor irrigation systems of Pakistan. Now let's see the water supply issues of Pakistan. There are some international water supply issues and some provincial. First we'll see the international ones. Impact of Indus Water Treaty. Pakistan had to give the exclusive rights of 3 eastern tributaries like Satluj River and Beas. So the upper Indus plain faced a decrease in water supply as a consequence of transfer of this authority. To tackle the water scarcity, Pakistan initiated the construction of Tarbela and Mangla dams. Additional barrages and canals were developed, and the agreement governing this arrangement continues to be a issue resolving state between Pakistan and India. But there was a violation of Indus Water Treaty, that Pakistan resisted dam projects like Baglihar Dam and Krishan Ganga Dam on western tributaries of river Indus, which is a proper violation of the Indus Water Treaty. Then we have provincial issues. The first one is the Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa issue on the Kalabagh Dam. Kalabagh Dam is a significant source of disagreement among the provinces, particularly with the objections of KPK raised on various grounds. One concern involves the potential diversion of a considerable portion of water stored in the Kalabagh Dam reservoir to Punjab through link canals. It's their thinking. And despite electricity generation by the dam being distributed nationwide through the national grid system, so KPK is not expected to receive any additional power benefits from the project. The construction of the dam is also anticipated to result in substantial displacement of the people living in that particular area, and people of that area are not agreeing with that. The reservoirs are projected to submerge extensive areas in Nashera district, leading to border issues such as waterlogging and salinity. Then there is another provincial issue of Punjab and Sindh. Sindh expresses concern about industrial water distribution with Punjab. There is dissatisfaction is particularly related to the smaller share allocated for Rabi crops. The looming construction of Kalabagh Dam adds to Sindh worries and anticipation of further reduction in water availability for Sindh due to this dam. So they are also not agreeing on the Kalabagh Dam. There is a concern about the dam could transform extensive areas of Sindh into arid saline deserts. So these are the concerns of Sindh, that they are not agreeing with another dam making in Punjab. So they thought that the water would be stored enough in Punjab and it will not come to Sindh areas. So this was the chapter of water resources. I hope it is clear to you, and we'll see you inshallah in the next video. Thank you.